Hey guys, welcome to another segment of Word of the Day. My name is Caesar and this is Inspire a Movement. So today we're looking at the word laziness. So laziness by definition is the unwillingness to work or use energy, or simply being idle or idleness. Think of a car that's in neutral, that's not moving either backwards or forwards, just stagnant and going nowhere. That's essentially the state of being lazy. So people need to be productive in their lives, right? In order to reach your dreams or achieve your goals that you have set for yourself, you need to be productive and constantly moving towards them in order to be happy and have a fruitful life. What are some of the main causes of being lazy? Well, for one is procrastination. If you constantly leave things for the last minute, this is going to definitely be exacerbating that issue with laziness. Also, distractions. We're all very distracted today and can fall into periods of low productivity just on account of spending too much time on our phones, or maybe simply spending too much time watching TV. Lack of self-discipline. If we're very disorganized and never seem to stay on task, that could definitely be a cause of laziness. Lack of motivation. Maybe you're doing something on a day-to-day basis that you really don't love or want to do. Certainly that could lead to laziness. Lack of interest, lack of confidence in yourself. You don't believe in yourself enough, so you don't have a lot of gusto, if you will, to get going. So these are all different types of causes. I'm sure there are more. I heard a very interesting quote recently on the issue of laziness that said that people aren't inherently lazy. Essentially, their goals are impotent. And what that means is that their goals don't motivate them or inspire them. So if you have basically no purpose, or you're not very purpose-driven, it's going to be easy to fall into periods of low productivity just on account of the fact that you don't really like what you're going to do or should be looking forward to doing. Some of the signs that people are lazy, well, we've touched on a couple of them already. Again, they procrastinate. They leave things for the very last minute. They are very easily distracted. They spend too much time on their phones. Also, their workplaces are typically very messy. Their living spaces are very messy. So these are typical signs of being definitely succumbing to laziness. There are some other things that we can also allude to, but what can we do about it? What can we do about being lazy? Well, for one, we can set goals, but set manageable goals, bite-sized goals to avoid burnout. If your aspirational goals are so grandiose that it's scary almost to even approach them, then more than likely they're too big. So you need to sort of break those things down into smaller components so that you have aspirational goals, short-term and long-term goals that are reachable and sustainable. Don't be a perfectionist. If you set standards for yourself that are so incredibly high, again, that can be very daunting to even try to do something about it. Try to avoid things like negative self-talk. Don't put yourself down. Don't beat yourself down. Again, this can make you sort of not want to do things. Acknowledge the accomplishments that you have as well. Give yourself a little bit of pat on the back. When you make those small steps and you reach those small milestones, give yourself a little bit of pat on the back and acknowledge those goals. That can also be very helpful. As I personally reflect on the word laziness, I can tell you I've had both periods of high productivity and periods of very low productivity where I can honestly say that I was lazy. For me, two of the main critical things that kept me from being very productive in those periods of low productivity were being fear-ridden for some reason and sort of being in this idle, stagnant moment just because I was kind of caught in a moment, and also lacking motivation, lacking purpose. So one of the things that I constantly fall back to is wherever you are in your life today, assess, self-assess, and do it periodically. Are you excited about what you're going to be doing today? Are you excited about where you're going tomorrow? And if the answer to those two questions is no, then maybe you're in a situation where you could be falling into low productivity and acting as if you're being lazy. But again, going back to that quote, I don't think any of us are inherently lazy. We just lack motivation. So being purpose-driven, finding your purpose and living in it, that's the way to combat laziness. Hopefully that message hits home with somebody watching this video. Again, all of these messages come from the heart. If you haven't synced up with us, please go to www.inspireamovement.com. All of our ongoings or goings on are going to be there, as well as some of the merchandise that we've done a soft launch on, and to come also some great information on our coming retreat. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.